Hey, Brandon Needle here from Sheboygan Fit Body Bootcamp. Just wanted to give you a few stretches today that are good for post-workout. A couple of these are also just great if you're working in an office. You can kind of use them throughout your day just to kind of stay limber, work on that flexibility a little bit. So first one, we're going to come on down on one knee here for a hip flexor stretch. You can see my ankle's right underneath their knee. All I'm going to do is lean forward and bring my weight forward. You should feel it in this back hip here. So you're going to take that same side hand. If you feel a good enough stretch here, you can stay right here. Always take that same side hand, bring it over the top, and just lean to that direction. You'll get a little extra stretch as that fascia pulls on that hip flexor there. A little great stretch of that hip flexor. Second one, we're going to come on down. Just bring those feet together in a butterfly stretch. I'm not very flexible with this one myself, but some people are much better than others. Just drag those elbows down into those legs, getting a good stretch in there through that groin a little bit. So, and then we got a couple different hamstring stretches. You can bring that foot right on in to that inside of your thigh here. Going to reach on down to those feet. Make sure that knee stays down. Doesn't matter if you reach those toes. If you can reach those toes, great. As you get better, you can climb on down that foot and get around there. I used to be able to get further, but a little practice will certainly help. You can also stretch that hamstring coming on up. Feet shoulders apart. Just like we're going to do that deadlift, pushing those hips back. Great way to work on that hip hinge at the same time. So pushing those hips back, back, back. You should feel that good stretch in those hamstrings. We're not bending at the waist, I'm just pushing those hips back, 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 and then I can also reach on down to those toes and accentuate that stretch a little bit. You can also come on up, cross that one foot over the other. Same thing, reaching on down to touch those toes. You can flatten those palms out on the ground. Great, get a little extra stretch there. So another great one. A lot of people, especially if you've had sciatic issues, with that piriformis is a muscle in that glute. That sciatic nerve either runs right through, right below, or right above. So you can bring that foot across, the ankles right across that knee, grab it behind that thigh, or you can grab around the knee if you're a little bit further with that one. Just lying back, pull that towards you. You can feel a good stretch through here, helps open up that hip, and like I said, can help a little bit if you have issues with that sciatica. Hanging out on one side, certainly all these stretches, 20 to 30 seconds. You want to cycle through them a couple times. Certainly a little bit more is going to be a little bit better. You can hit that IT band here too, which is alongside that knee, coming up to your hip. Bring that foot over the top. You're going to bring opposite elbow across, so it comes across the knee here. And plant that arm behind you here. Just going to twist that body. So you probably feel a nice stretch in the back here, but you really want to push that elbow into that knee. Feel that stretch to the hip flexor a little bit there. I saw that IT band there. Then we're going to come on up, get a calf stretch in here. So we're coming on over. You can do this by the wall or with a box here. So I'm coming on up. I'm going to bring my foot up and really crank that foot up so my foot is up against that box as high as I can. I'm going to lean into that. Get a good stretch in here. Just kind of hang out. Let it kind of marinate in there. 15, 20 seconds. Once I get past that time, what I'm going to do is take a big breath in. So take a big inhale. I'm going to hold that breath, and I'm going to really push as hard as I can for about 6 seconds. And then I'm going to release that breath. I'm going to get a release and get a little bit extra range of motion there. It's going to kind of loosen up a little bit. I'm going to hang out here again for about 10, 15 seconds, maybe 12 seconds. Same thing, kind of cycle back through with that. 3-4 times that, great way to help loosen up those calves, which can be a real trouble spot for a lot of folks. A couple things we're going to do for the back and arms here. You can do a little back opener here. This is a great one too if you work in an office. Taking those hands, clasp them together, and put our palms away from us, standing nice and tall, and just push them on away. You should feel that right between those shoulder blades. Feels pretty darn good. Good stretch. You can kind of hold that for a while, relax it, and come on back out. Get a couple cycles through with that. Then we can do something that's going to open up those ribs. Bring that arm over the top. Really reach. You should feel a good stretch through those intercostals, those ribs there. Do over each side. You can kind of go back and forth, just kind of going in a reach that way, or you can certainly hold it, get a good stretch that way also. And stretch out that triceps back here. I know the last couple of weeks and people had some pretty sore triceps, so this one, bringing that hand over the top, and just kind of driving down that elbow. Great way to stretch out that tricep there. You can also bring that arm over across here, stretch out that tricep a little bit too, also those deltoids over the top of that arm there. Foam roller is also a great tool. I know some of you have been using these pretty consistently. Great tool. I know some have them at home. We also have them here. You're more than welcome to use it. Either warming up or cooling down. It can be a good thing to do in that warm-up time too. So a couple different things you can do with that. First up, we got a little quad one here, just coming right over top of the knee there. And I'm on my elbows here, just coming forward and back, getting a good roll through that quad. So You know, at first that may be a little bit painful. It is a form of self-massage. If this is pretty easy, doesn't feel, isn't painful, feeling like you're not getting a whole lot out of it, you can stack those feet, do the same thing. Going to get a little bit more pressure there. It's going to dig a little bit deeper, get a little bit more out of it that way. You can also flip on over onto one side, hit that IT band. For a lot of people, this may be really tender at first, so you may want to start with that foot flat on the ground here. But once you're ready for it, you can stack those feet, just like we're doing that side plank. Just kind of come 3-4 inches at a time. You don't have to go a long ways here. You just want to get work those little different angles. You can see I can lean forward a little bit. I can rotate back a little bit. Just hit those different angles of that IT band where it adheres sometimes to that quad or sometimes to that hamstring on that back side. So that can be a real good one. It might be pretty painful at first, but it can really help loosen that baby on up and take away some of those issues with that IT band. You can also hit those hamstrings coming on over. Again, you can go in that double here, just right below the butt. Just make sure you don't cross that joint, just coming just above the knee. You can also stack those legs on up over the top here and hit that hamstring. Final one we're going to show for today. And come on, position that sucker right between those, right underneath those shoulder blades. Kind of hug yourself here and just go right over that upper back here. Feel pretty darn good here too. So it's a good one there. There's certainly some other things that foam roller that we can do, and certainly some other stretches, some great stretches out there. But those are a few to get you started. If you're looking for some more stretches at the end of boot camp, or just to do on your own at home. So don't hesitate though if you're looking for something else. If you need some other stretches, don't hesitate to ask. So thank you, and we'll see you later.